We got the new Q&No from WarThunder official channel, and most of us are very disappointed. There were multiple issues mentioned that just had blatant dishonest answers, which we'll definitely talk about, and other questions had just no for an answer instead of like looking for other suggestions or looking for a compromise. When will we finally get the ability to ban more than one map?
No, because even right now, players already have the potential to ban up to 32 maps in the worst case scenario.
Okay.
That's 16 versus 16 players, each banning one map, which removes 32 maps from the pool. And since not all maps are available at every battle rating, this can already exclude more than half the maps we have in certain modes.
Yeah, I'm trying to ban one map right now. What's happening? What? Where's my 32 bans, bro? Let me ask you, gentlemen, what are the chances of all 32 players in the lobby, every single one of them having premium account, and in this case, all 32 of them banning 32 unique different maps whilst not overlapping at all? Like, don't be surprised when community gets mad because of this.
Because of that, we don't think increasing the number of bans would be beneficial. Instead, we're focusing on a variety of measures that prevent players from being placed on the same map several times in a row.
What?
Why does that happen?
A variety of measures to prevent players being placed on the same map several times in a row. Okay, so their solve of us getting less maps that we dislike and more maps that we like is to make sure that maps do not repeat. What does that, how does that solve the issue? Do you not understand that we want to play multiple times in a row on the maps that we like, and we don't want to play on the maps we dislike? But that's not possible. Yeah, we know, that's why we're asking to increase the chance. We're absolutely fine playing on the maps we dislike when we get them occasionally, but not back to back to back to back. Because if I get 5 unique maps that I dislike in a row, I'll just turn off the game. How will new players learn maps when they keep constantly rotating over and over? Because that's the issue that I had when I started playing the game. I was like, okay, so I'll be learning this map, and I couldn't learn it because I wouldn't be getting it anymore. Even though in low battle ratings, map rotation is pretty small, it was still way too diverse for me. It wasn't like, wow, this is so unique. No, I knew that I spawn in, I absolutely have no idea where to go. And so every single map being unique was just the same feeling of not knowing what to do over and over and over again while you're playing against pedal beers that spent thousands and thousands of hours in 1.0 battle rating, and they're just absolutely smacking you left and right. They know every single bush in the map. You don't know absolutely anything at all. It's incredibly frustrating. What could be the actual solve options that they could have given us? I'll mention a few, like free getaway cards. Gentlemen, please tell me if you like any of them, or maybe you have like upgraded versions of those things. First of all, they could have just told us that they're trying to increase the weight of likes and dislikes so that those likes and dislikes would have a high impact on us getting more maps that we like and less maps that we dislike. And on top of that, they're increasing the amount of likes and dislikes overall, so we would feel like we can at least like impact our own experience a little bit more. It's not that we know the weight of those likes and dislikes, they never tell us about them. That means they have all the freedom in the world to change what the weight is of those likes and dislikes to a certain degree where matchmaking times would still satisfy them. But instead they just said, no, we just gonna make sure that you don't play on the same map that you were playing before. Since different battle ratings have different amount of players and different amount of maps that they can choose from, you could just split bans into multiple sections, low, mid, and high battle ratings. So basically you could ban only one map on the smaller pool while having more bans available in higher battle ratings, as there are way more players over there and it just has much bigger map pool to choose from. Or an idea to just add a custom slider to increase your matchmaking time, which would increase the probability of you getting maps that you like and less maps that you dislike. In this case, guys that are fine of playing any map they want, they could just reduce it to 0 and quickly get into the matches. And others that don't want to play maps that they don't like and would rather wait a little bit extra, they could also have an option to do so. And for the guys waiting, you can actually implement like a psychological trick, which would be like a visual confirmation of a dislike map getting skipped. This way, we would feel like rewarded, like, oh yes, I skipped that horrible map that I didn't want to play. We would feel like the game is actually trying to give us something good. It would give us like a sense of that likes and dislikes actually matter, because at this point, I don't think they even do. Like, I don't know, man. Then there was this guy, bro.
Will we get an artillery sight for indirect fire on SPGs?
Nope, that's not planned.
This was one of the few W's by WarThunder. So this guy was like, there's a class that is hated by 99% of World of Tanks community. Why not bring this hated class in a WarThunder as well, when we already have helicopters and CAS that fill that niche pretty damn well? Absolute waste of a question. I swear to God, bro was trolling. I cannot believe that this was a real question. He could have asked, what are you doing to improve server stability? Specifically to address desynchronization like ghost shells, flying tanks at longer distances, hit accuracy. Are there any tools developed to decrease the chances of keen vision induced bugs? Can we have the most hated World of Tanks thing in WarThunder as well? Bro was definitely trolling, and they took that question. Another one of the many things that got most of the gentlemen mad were these two questions right over here, and they're pretty much the same. New game modes.
Are there any new game modes in the works? Players are tired of capturing zones.
We think that if players were truly tired of the classic missions with 1 or 3 objectives, they'd have already stopped playing and switched to something else. These modes are classic for a reason. They appeal to players with their simplicity and consistency, letting them focus more on actually fighting the enemy rather than learning some complex mission.
What a fantastic answer. I imagine like his team was going like this. I swear to God, they started Googling, how do I tell my boss he's wrong without getting fired? Wait, when you think about it, we already played different games. So does that make us right? Because I'm playing OSRS, Minecraft, Terraria, GTA, Tarkov, Counter-Strike. Some guys are playing League of Legends and WoW, different strategy games and so on and so forth. Guys are playing chess. Like, need we continue? So we're actually right after all, aren't we? How did they let this air, bro? Like, bro, this is crazy. He's probably talking about other tank games. WarThunder is unique, and all the competitors are either very different or they're incredibly small and don't have nearly as much of content to offer to us. Us playing WarThunder doesn't mean that it's perfect in every single way, just because we're still here. We are here because there's nothing like it, and out of all limited options, this is one of the best ones. But it could be much better, and that's what we want. We want this game to be better. But then they continue with this stuff right over here.
More elaborate missions with intricate objectives that would progress in some complicated fashion could work well with significantly fewer core mechanics or simpler mechanics. But in WarThunder, the scope and speed of what's happening, the sheer depth of vehicle control, and the number of possible actions already demand a lot in terms of player attention. Adding extra layers of complexity within the missions makes things much harder to follow and control. That's why we only introduce such experimental modes as temporary events. Not meant for everyone, but they give players who want that chance to shake things up a bit, have some fun with something that isn't just capturing points, and then return to the good old familiar game modes.
Guys, we're just wrong. Like, we're so stupid. Like, bro, we're not asking for quick time algebraic topology events in the middle of the battle. And to begin with, it's not like we're getting 2 new game modes to test every single year. For a ground battle player, I can name only 2 different game modes that we had in last 3 to 4 years that did not have the standard capture 1 to 3 zones, which would be Mad Thunder and Advance, where Mad Thunder was like this event thing and Advance was an actual suggestion, I believe, as far as I remember. I might be wrong though. For example, Mad Thunder. Gentlemen, was this too advanced mentally for any of you? No, it wasn't. Not at all. Where you had to collect 4 different resources and then extract when a door icon appears on the minimap. What? No. When I saw that game mode, I instantly, personally, I went like this. That's some advanced shit right there, bro. Like, that's crazy. Or advanced, where you had to destroy enemy players and capture a new zone to move forward, while other team had to defend position for like several minutes to win the match. All feedback that I saw about it was positive. So what is the issue with them not implementing any new game modes? So the whole simplified process goes like this. Certain dev team is given a task to make a new game mode, which is human resources spent. Let's say they make a fantastic, great game mode that brings something new to the game, all that kind of stuff. It's super important, and all you get is that exclamation mark right over there. And there's also exclamation mark like to the shop and stuff, like there's few exclamation marks. Sometimes they add this thing right over here, which is absolutely awesome because we get notified. But that doesn't happen all the time. basically these exclamation marks get ignored by 90% of us. I just have that thing closed by default overall. But I bet every single one of you knows that when there's like a new player icon grind going on live, like it's crazy. So basically what ends up happening, there's a new game mode, update log pops out, you just instantly close it, and then it's in some folder that very few players open. Some of you do try them out. Yes, I tried them out as well, but not everybody is like us. Most of them just skip it for multiple reasons. The only way to make it worse is to force you to go through like multiple folders to try out this new game mode. And game devs already know that it is very important to have a game where you can just click and play. So just by doing those folders, they instantly cut out masses of players trying them out, instantly giving it a fail badge because not enough players were interested in it. Then boss comes over, tells dev team, nobody was interested in your game mode. You failed. But that new player icon, I say it was booming. No, the game mode didn't fail. It's just the players just didn't know it was happening or thought, it's probably like a simulator battle ratings got moved up or down or some new event with ships or something. I don't care about it. And that's it. What happens when players know about new game modes? And that's like to guys that actually like tried out something. Well, then players start playing those game modes, but rewards are usually nerfed so hard that you feel like you're wasting your time. So basically you have to test out this new game mode, right? But you instantly punish players for testing it by giving absolutely no rewards in return, and a random sticker and few decorations won't do it when the whole game is about unlocking new vehicles, creating new lineups, going like, I want to unlock this tank, I want to unlock this plane. That's the whole game. So we players think, all right, this game mode looks very cool, but rewards are absolutely horrible. So I'll just go to the main game because I want to unlock this tank. I'm almost done with it, and I'll finish this tech tree, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but the game mode was cool. It was cool. Boss in Gaijin comes over, tells dev team, your game mode sucked. Players played 3 matches and then they left. It was too advanced for the player base. So rewards for those battles have to be good. It's even called event. How are we getting 2000 silver, 300 XP, like as if we're playing 1.0? It's called an event. Like, shouldn't we be happy for it? Reward players with a little bit extra so that they would be motivated to try out this new game mode over and over again, instead of just giving them stickers and a decoration after like a 30-hour grind. This way you get way more feedback and way more testing. When all that thing is set up, then you make easily accessible feedback poll of the event. No more of you gotta go to a certain forum, then you gotta click on a certain post which you can't access because you gotta read the rules, but then you gotta log into the forum to accept, you gotta accept some terms now. I mean, you will get player feedback for sure from filtered out guys that have enough dedication to go through all of that, when, mind you, they're worried that matchmaker will take longer than 3 seconds to load you into the match because you might click off. You nailed it with the shop, you can nail it with polls as well. Please give us normal voting polls that we would see in game, not hear it from another content creator like myself, which already tells you to vote for A or vote for B. If game mode is way too advanced and we're too stupid, give it to higher battle ratings so that only smart people that spend $75 in the game could actually enjoy it. There's plenty of options. There were way more things that got us mad, but I want to leave on this. Instead of worrying that we can turn off the game while the matchmaker is generating a random battle, how about you try and make it so that we're looking forward to getting into the next battle so much that we don't care about the queuing times to begin with. We'd rather wait for something good than get shit right off the bat.